morning, welcome to Farmer's Wife Homestead. I'm Stacey if this is the first time we're meeting, and welcome back to my farmhouse kitchen. Today we are going to be doing everything lemons. I have two big boxes, another big box just over here. I've got some grapefruit and some oranges as well, but they are going to be for a different video. So I picked all that I could from the farm's lemon tree, and aren't they just beautiful? Beautiful skin. So what we're going to do today is we're going to dehydrate a whole heap of lemon peel, and then I've got my big 9 tray BioChef dehydrator. I do see a lot of people wanting to get into dehydrating, sorry, in New Zealand, and they don't know what sort to buy. Yes, you can get some pretty cheapy, cheerful dehydrators that work just fine. But if you're really serious about dehydrating, I recommend this BioChef 9 tray. I think I got it for about $2.65, and it's been very much a really good investment to have. So we are going to be dehydrating some peels because last year I made some seasoning salts, and I made lemon pepper, and the lemon pepper was so good, and I only made 1 jar of it, and I want to make way more than that. I definitely want way more than that. Much better than the shop bought. It's non-comparable. So we're going to dehydrate those. I'll show you what I do, but I will link the original video at the end of this video and also in the description, because I'm not going to do a detailed on how I did it because I've already done that video. So we're going to do that, and then I thought I might make husband a lemon meringue pie. And we are also going to juice these and steam can them so that we have lots of lemon juice for the canning pantry. I normally do 2 quarts of lemon juice every winter, and then I pop them in the freezer, and then as I finish one I pop it in the fridge, and it keeps for months and months and months and months. That's been great, but however I found out last year when I went to make a lemon meringue pie with this lemon juice, it didn't work. It separated on me because of the high content of water the freezing process sort of imparts on the lemon juice. It's fine for cooking, it's fine for baking as long as it's not like a curd or something like that. So I put it in sauces and all that type of thing, no problems whatsoever. You could put it in salsas, no problems whatsoever. But what I want is some lemon juice, pure lemon juice for on the pantry shelf. So I haven't done that before. It's just going to be straight lemon juice, and I'm just going to steam can it. So it's going to be pretty quick, simple and easy. So the first thing we need to do is get to peeling these, and I just use a peeler. I'm just filling up my sink, and I'm just get a clean cloth and just giving them a really good wash. They're organic lemons as well, which is great. So I know the skins have never been sprayed. So if you know somebody that's got a nice big lemon tree, try and get some. So I'm just going to wash all these lemons, and then I'll start peeling it all. And we'll get that dehydrator filled up. Right, I've got my dehydrator trays just in front of my chopping block here, and I'm just going to use a little peeler, and I'm just going to peel strips. I'm not trying to push too hard because then you'll get a lot more of the white. So there is a little bit of the pith in there. Last year I actually took the time and I took out the little bit of pith on every single peel, but I've decided no, I'm not going to do that this time. I don't think it'll make too much difference. So I'm just going to pop that onto the tray, and what I might do is pop this all back into here, and then I'll put the peeled ones back in there. So just a nice all around. I've got so many lemons, and there's more to come on the tree as well, so I'm not too concerned about being pedantic about it. And then we'll fill up all these and then get them in the dehydrator. I can't remember how long it took last time. I really hope that the pith is not going to make any difference. It's only a little bit. Also, no, if this one's a bit more bitter, then next time when I do the next lot, I'll take the pith out. So this is going to be me for the next little bit, and then we will squeeze the lemons. Then we'll make the lemon meringue pie. Now, if you're using the lemon juice, I will be using it for baking and cooking and stuff like that. You can't use home bottled or home lemons for preserving because you don't know the acidity of it, so you still would have to use shop bought bottled lemon juice, if that makes sense. So I'm just popping all the peels on here. That's about five lemons worth is on this tray. I'm going to pop that in there, and I will be drying it on, I'll double check, but I think I dry it on the lowest setting. So I've popped the first tray in, and I've put it on 55. So Google said 52, so I put it on 55. And I'll show you them when I've done peeling everything. Right, that's all of them done, and I've got 2 trays in the dehydrator already. I'm probably going to have more. I think I did two trays last year, so I think I'm going to have more peel than I have trays, so I will have to do 2 loads, I think. I suppose it doesn't really matter what side it's on. Smells so nice. I might have to put on some gloves to juice them all though, because my hands are already sore just from the juice, just doing that. Okay, I'm just going to put the rest on trays. So there's the 9 trays. Done. Move on to the next thing. Right, so I've just grabbed just some random jars, and I'm going to start cutting these in half and then squeezing it through a sieve and into the jars. And then what I'm going to do is heat up the lemon juice till it's nice and hot, and then pop them back into the jar and then steam can it, and I will check the recipe to find out how long I need to steam can it for. So that's the next step. So I've got a bowl with a sieve, a jug to pour the lemon juice into the jars, and I just cut them in half and get out as much of the juice as I can. Yep. If I had a juicer, you'd probably get more of the juice out, but I've been doing this for 4 years every winter now, and it takes a little bit of time, but it's all good. It's only once a year that I do it. So I'm just going to do all those lemons, and I get my thumbs into the lemon as well, and then give it a squeeze. Sometimes you see beautiful big lemon trees and all the lemons are just falling on the ground. So, you know, come knock on the door. Sometimes it's an elderly person and they've got no use for so many lemons, and just take them some baking or something, or offer them a little bit of money. Right. So I'm going to grab a jar, and I'll just run it through a sieve again. So I need another few to fill that one up, and then I'll put, once I've done them all, I'm going to pop it all into a pot, into a saucepan. So the best way I've found is just cut open a few at a time. Like this. And then just start. I ended up putting on gloves. So this is a 750ml jar. And I usually do 2 quarts, and that lasts me a year. So we'll see, I might have enough to do this one as well, hopefully. Well, I got 750ml and 2 pint jars worth, and then that's what was left over, which is half a cup. So I just checked the recipe for the good old Edmund's cookbook. My husband loves the Edmund's cookbook, and lo and behold, lemon meringue pie needs half a cup. How is that? I don't have any more lemons, so that was perfect. Absolutely perfect. Now I'm going to put these on and heat the lemon juice up to, I did a little bit more research, heat the lemon juice up to 190 degrees or 87 degrees, 87 Celsius. So I've got a little temperature gauge. So I'm going to just do to 87, 90, and then just let it simmer for 5 minutes. And apparently that's what pasteurizes the lemon juice, to make sure that there's, you know, that it's all good. So that's what we're going to do now. Is I'm just going to pop it all into a pot and heat it up. No sugar, nothing else. Just going to pop those jars back down there. I'm going to rewash them and then fill them with hot water so that they're nice and hot to receive the hot lemon juice. I just actually realised I did have some more lemons, so I'm just going to juice about another 5 lemons because it will reduce while it simmers, and I want to make sure that I've got enough. But I remembered I've got some in the bottom of here, just some knobbly ones that aren't very nice. So I'm just going to quickly put some more into that pot, and then any left over we can just use up. I'll come back once the lemon juice is at temperature. I'll just compost all of these lemon skins because pigs don't like citrus, neither do the chickens. Wow, there's a ton of seeds. Don't want them all going into the septic, so we'll just all these seeds. Going to have a clean up, and then I'm just going to check online to see if I can share the Edmonds cookbook recipe for lemon meringue pie. So if it is online, then I can share the link. If it's not, then I can make it, but I just won't be able to tell you the amounts. I think that's what the rules are anyway. Right, I squeezed the rest of those lemons, and I've decided that I'm not going to do the biggest 750 ml. I'll do smaller pints and have the and do that instead. So I've just got to find another pint jar, and I'll do 4 of those, and then I should still I've put aside a whole cup of lemon juice because I might make a double lemon meringue pie with extra filling and extra big meringue on top, but just the same of the pastry. I'm going to just make the pastry that's from the Edmonds cookbook, but yeah, we'll get to that shortly. Right, that's come up to temperature and I've turned it right down, and now I'm just going to put my timer on for 5 minutes. And apparently that's what pasteurizes the lemon juice. I've got my canner out, and I've put 2.5 quarts of water in there, and I am going to steam can instead of water bath canning. So if you've seen any of my other videos, I prefer to steam can over water bath canning because it is so much faster, and you can use your pressure canner for that. I do have other videos for that, so you could check those out. I will link them in the description, and also if you are not a home canner and you don't have any equipment, I've also done a video on canning pineapple with no special equipment, and I will, all you need to do is get your jars, and you can just use normal jars, any jars with a lug lid, and water bath them in just a nice big pot. So it's all explained in that video, which I will also link in the description. Alright, so once I've done that and I've got them in the canner, I'm not going to go through the process simply because I do have other videos, as I said, and then we will get to making this lemon meringue pie, and I'm really looking forward to it. I prefer cold lemon meringue pie. Not sure what husband prefers, but I guess I'll find out tonight. But it's not going to be hot, you know, because it's about lunchtime at the moment. I'm just pouring it into the jug. As I said, of course, there's no lemon, no sugar, but I am going to white the rim. And into the canner. Alright, I'm going to process these for 10 minutes. So once the little sealer thing pops up, then I will, and you know I've got lots of steam coming out of here, I will time it for 10 minutes and then I'll just let it cool down. Awesome, that's done. I'm just going to let everything come down and then open the canner once all the steam has dissipated and that's come back down, and then we'll make the lemon meringue pie. Just with that being so noisy, I'll put my legs up for a little bit and we'll get on to making the pie. How's this going? Let's have a check. It's been going for 2.5 hours. And they're actually already starting to get crispy. Yum. So that's good. That's not going to take much time at all. So we might even be able to process them today. We'll see. Otherwise I'll finish it up, the process, and I'll show you how much we ended up getting with a whole 9 trays worth of lemon peels. Alright, so it's the next morning. The lemon peels didn't take too long, so they're all crispy. So we're going to quickly make up a pastry. I'm going to use the one that's in the Edmonds cookbook, and then it's a sweet short crust pastry, and I'll just use my Thermomix to whiz it all up, and then we'll make the rest of the lemon meringue, and then I'm just going to blitz this up along with some pepper, and we'll see how much of a jar we get of the lemon pepper seasoning. Alright, so yeah, let's make the pastry. Righty-ho, so sift the flour into a mixing bowl, cut the butter into small pieces, dropping into the flour as you go, rub the butter into the flour with fingertips. Right, I'm just going to use the machine to do it. So I need 2 cups of flour, this will make 300 grams, and 150 grams of butter. Going to dice this up. I'm just going to mix this for about 10 seconds. And then we'll have a look. Alright, 10 seconds and all the butter has been mixed in. Perfect. Stir in the sugar followed by the egg yolks and water. So there's 2 egg yolks. I need a tablespoon. I just want to get all that egg into there, and 1 to 2 tablespoons of water. So we'll start with 1 tablespoon, and we want half a cup of sugar, caster sugar. So that's fine granulated sugar. Using up the last of my caster because I make my own now. Right, that's it. So we're going to mix that for, say, 5 seconds. And then we'll see if it needs extra water. And what you're wanting is that it forms a dough when you squeeze it together, and that is perfect. Right, let's bring this dough together. You don't want to knead it, you just want to bring all the bits together. Right, what I'm going to do, normally you would pop the dough into the fridge to cool down for a little bit, is I am just going to, see the dough is slightly on the wetter side, get some flour. I'm going to roll it out now and put it into the pie plate and then put the pie plate into the fridge. Just had a look to see the size of my plate, and we want it to come up to the sides, so I'm just going to go with around 28 centimetres. Just keep moving that dough around. Want it to roll it out as even as you can. Right, looks about good to me, so I'm just going to move that. Bring the pie plate up. Of course, if I've rested the dough, it wouldn't be falling apart on me right now. Impatient me. But dough's very forgiving, so just moulding it right up to the sides. And this is going to be blind baked as well. Okay, so take all the edges off, and you can float them and make them look pretty, but I'm going to just set the dough for 10 minutes before I do anything else. Right, that's going to go into the fridge now. And now I'm going to start heating up the oven. So now, just going back to the recipe, while that is cooling down, I'm going to make the filling, and I'm going to double the filling, so that's the lemon curd part. And with the topping, the meringue topping, it has 3 egg whites, and I'll use the other 2 egg whites that I used from making the pastry. So that's not quite doubling it, but I'm just trying to use up all the ingredients. So we need, what do we need to do? Make the filling. Combine the corn flour, lemon zest and juice in a saucepan and mix until smooth. Right, so I have a cup of lemon juice from yesterday. Pop that into the saucepan, and here's the lemon juice from yesterday, all jarred up, everything sealed. So that's awesome. And how much? Of course, as I said, I will put the recipe in the link in the description because it is online. Quarter cup times 2. I haven't got any zest. Don't like zest in my lemon meringue pie. So I'm just starting to heat that and mix that corn flour through. So I've got the water, lemon juice and the corn flour in there. And we're supposed to cook gently until the mixture boils and becomes thick and clear. And then I've organised 6 egg yolks because I'm doubling this, and some sugar and butter. Right. Oh, that's super thick. Right, I'm just going to turn that right down. And add some sugar. Tablespoons of butter, Now, the hard part is going to be, it says to stir in the sugar, egg yolks and butter and mix well. Take off the heat and set aside. I'm a little bit worried about scorching these egg yolks. So I'm going to turn that off. It's too thick for me to be able to put some in and temper it a little bit. Maybe I should. I'm just going to grab a 1/4 cup of it, put it into the egg yolks, and that just warms up the egg yolks, and then that worked well. And I'm just going to get the rest of the egg yolks into here. Right, perfect. We'll let that cool down and let's blind bake this pastry. Right. Pop that into the freezer so it's absolutely chilled down now. I'll grab some new baking paper, scrunch it. It makes it easier to mould it into the shape that you want when it's scrunched. Now you can use dried beans, rice. I used to use just plain rice, but I bought myself some baking beads. Not used them yet, so put a crumpled sheet of baking paper or tin foil in the bake pastry case for 15 to 20 minutes. Alright, so I'm going to put that in the oven and come back to it. I've just left the oven door open for a little bit because that pie plate is cold and the oven's hot, so I'm just letting that pie plate warm up a little bit. Yeah, if I chucked it in the hot oven and shut the door, it might break. So doing this, it's heating up that pie plate and hopefully it doesn't crack on me. So yeah, we're going to preheat the oven to 190. Yeah, and then after 15 to 20 minutes remove it from the oven. Carefully take out the paper and the beads and return the case to the oven for 5 minutes to dry the pastry. Right, fingers crossed. This curd looks perfect. It's nice and thick as I like, and I've got the 6 egg yolks, so I'm going to use my KitchenAid for that, and I'm just going to start whipping those up. Okay, I'm going to start whipping this and then adding some sugar as well. I'm just going to start adding the sugar at 1 tablespoon at a time. Right, that's done. You just want stiff peaks and that the sugar has been dissolved. You can't feel it when you rub it between your fingers. Right, just going to finish off baking the pie, and then we'll assemble it. Just going to take these beads out. And then you're going to want to put the pie plate back into the oven for another 5 minutes so that the rest of the shell can dry out. So I'll just time that for another 5 minutes. And then once that's dried out and you know that you're going to have a thoroughly cooked pie shell, and then we will, there's the filling there, and here's the meringue. You know it's ready when you can put it over your head and it doesn't plop on your face or your head. And you're basically just looking for it to not be soft. You just want it to dry out. So I'll bring you down and we will put the pie together. And with the you can see why I doubled it, because if I hadn't have doubled it, it wouldn't have filled out the pie that much. And who doesn't like lemon curd, right? And then we're going to get the meringue, and I'm just going to dob on some bits there. Husband was super excited to hear that I was going to be making this. And somebody actually asked me a question in the last video, and they said that I pamper my husband and that they wondered if he actually cooks as well for me. And the answer is yes, he does cook. So if I want a night off, he's quite happy to cook, and he's actually quite a good cook. He makes the best burgers. So you want to use your back of your spoon and just make craggy little bits like that, and they brown up quite nicely. There we go, back into the oven. And it's going to bake for 15 to 20 minutes until the meringue is lightly golden. There we go. Beautiful. all these dried lemon peels into my Thermomix and pop in some whole peppercorns and then blitz it up until it's fine powder. I like a little bit of chunks. Now that's almost filled that, so that's pretty amazing. And I've got some whole peppercorns, and I just add loads. I'll start with that and then I'll whiz it and see how we go. Look, I think that's a good pepper ratio to lemon. So I'm just going to process it just a little bit longer. So I don't want it quite that chunky. So good. Alright, 5 more seconds and that'll be done. And then I can put it into a jar. That's perfect for my liking. So I'm just going to pop it into some jars. Definitely be wanting to make some more of this, but I know my daughter is keen to try some of the homemade stuff. So I will definitely be making more of these when some more of the lemons are on. Ready. Oh, smells so delicious. Lemon pepper seasoning. Perfect. And here's the lemon meringue pie. See those beads? Little beads of fluid? And in the pie plate itself there's some liquid. It means that I overbeat the meringue, which I knew I had at the time. But it's a little bit of aesthetics. But still very tasty and delicious. And everybody has been enjoying it. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and thank you for joining me, and hope to see you on the next one. Bye for now.